Can I just start with your full name, please?
It's Anna Stoltman.
Anna Stoltman. And so, Anna, you local resident here near the park. How are you feeling about what's been going on lately with the antisocial behaviour and the fires and everything?
Well, obviously it's not great, but you can't really blame the young people because there's absolutely nothing for them left to do in the park, because the whole park has been under construction it's only just started, but from what we know, there's not going to be much left of the park, so there's nothing for the kids to do.
The sort of out of boredom, they're setting fire to benches and bins and that type of thing?
I actually think so, yeah, because it's actually increased in the last couple of months where all has been, happening with the build. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah. And so how do you think we should solve this problem? Is it a case of finding the youngsters something to do, or make the park a bit more open to everyone, that type of thing?
Yes, ideally. I mean, we had a skate park, which was great. Then they closed it down, said that was no longer safe. They promised they will reinstate it. Now they changed their mind because football pitch is apparently more important. Now we had a basketball court, which was another hangout place for young people. Well, they closed down. As you can see, there's just nowhere to go. So the only last place to go was the little park area, which is actually for small kids. But if teenagers don't have anywhere to go, that's where they hang out, and that's why it happens.
Yeah, I suppose as well, like you say, that you've got to have somewhere to go, but also when they do get there, I suppose an education thing has to be put in place to make sure that they don't set fire to bins and benches.
Well, yeah, obviously, but like you said, it's boredom. They just have absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's a shame. All right, well, I appreciate it. Can I start with your full name, please?
Martin Barks.
Martin Barks. So, Martin, you live fairly close to the park. You've obviously seen it in all its glory, and unfortunately on its down days. A lot of vandalism, a lot of fires here in recent weeks. How concerned are you as a resident that this keeps happening?
Very concerned. I mean, like I say, last week there was a fire engineer already. Kids have got nothing to do now because they've boarded everything up that they used to do. So they're venting their frustration out on other things, which is a shame, really.
Yeah, well, I've just been over there, and the small children's park is closed. It's obviously got padlocked and everything like that because of the damage that's been done by the fires, and it feels like a bit of a sad indictment as to today's current societal ongoing things.
Yeah, it is, and it's a shame that the things are being locked up and the kids can't use them. The cricket club as well, they've been kicked off there, and they've been there since before the 1900s. I think the football club have just took it over, and that's it. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to stop anyone playing football. Everyone's got the rights to do what they want. It's just now they've boarded everything up and the kids have got nothing to do.
Do you think it's sort of acting out of boredom, setting fire to bins and benches?
Well, it could be. I don't know. When I was kids, we were always out playing. Now everything's being took off the kids and they're getting bored. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, what do you want to see happen moving forward to stop the parks being set on fire and antisocial behaviour running riot?
They need to support the kids more. I mean, it's they keep taking stuff off them. They're just getting bored. They've got nowhere to go, nothing to do. Hopefully it gets better.
Is it an educational thing as well? Like, obviously the kids, whilst they are at the park and whatnot, obviously they need to know, don't they, that it's not okay to set fire to things and whatnot. So is it a bit of a balance?
No, I don't think it's. I mean, we're all brought up that arson's not good. I don't think it's that. Whether they're venting their anger or not, I don't know. But hopefully they're not. I mean, things have to progress, but it's just a shame.
Appreciate your time. Thanks very much. Thanks. Take care. Cheers. So Richard, here we are outside Hickings Lane Recreation Ground. It's a bit of a sad sight, isn't it, really? Because normally there'd be lots of happy, rosy-cheeked children enjoying their nice summery day in September, but sadly they're not able to do that purely because it's closed, but for, a very difficult reason.
Yeah, it's been vandalised by a small minority of people. I always want to make that clear because, there's lots of youngsters in Stapleford and they're doing some really good stuff. We need to make that clear. But there's a small minority that's just vandalising stuff, and the biggest concern is the amount of fires they keep setting.
And so there's a safety issue at hand here as well. Like you say, when you look at, it's effectively, it is a kids' playground, and then you've got people setting fire to the equipment, to the bins nearby, to the trees. How much of a concern is that?
It's a very big concern because it's dangerous, isn't it? Not only are they, vandalising a park, which is going to have to be paid for, so that's money that could have been spent on something else. People can't come and use the park, which is quite sad. But it's the danger element to it, and I think one of the messages we need to get across is we need parents and carers to let the youngsters know how important it is, not to get involved in this. We need the community to be the eyes and ears for the police, because the police will take action once these people are caught. And there's no good just going on social media complaining about it. People need to ring 999. They need to ring 101. They can use Crime Stoppers if that's what they feel. So there's plenty of opportunities. And I'd also like to thank Gida, because they've actually came down today. Gida's the construction company that's building on Hickings Lane Park, and they've put some mobile CCTV cameras up which are working. So hopefully that, if anyone does carry on offending, that can catch them. But like I said, the police will do what they can. They'll use the appropriate channels to take action, and we just need the community to be the eyes and ears and keep an eye out for what these people are doing. But they just need to stop doing it, because nobody wins at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, as we're looking at the gate now, it's obviously padlocked so that nobody can get in. There's signs on it saying that it's being closed for repair due to vandalism. In fact, the signs warning people to stay away have been taken off and chucked in there, so it just shows that it's an ongoing problem.
Yeah, and like I said, there's a cost to that as well, isn't there? There's it's a very popular park. It's pretty central in Stapleford. It's not the centre of Stapleford, but it's pretty central. Lots of people come, this time of the day, a lovely day like this, it's normally ram-packed. And because people aren't coming on here, because it's closed, it's just sad for everyone, isn't it? The youngsters are missing out, the parents are missing out, taking the kids out and that. And like I said earlier, it's just a few mindless louts that's doing this, and they just need to realise, the greater impact they're causing, and also the consequences, because the police will take action.
And you mentioned it before, sort of off record, that while there's these, I say little, obviously every fire has to be put out, but little bin fires and fires that are close by, whilst they're being attended to by the local fire service here, it could mean that they're being distracted from another job that could be, even more serious.
Yeah, I mean, Stapleford Fire Brigade are brilliant. I'd say they're the best fire brigade in Nottingham. I don't want to go too far out. But yeah, they're a good fire brigade, and they're very community active. They've got a Facebook page, which is brilliant, but it's not just social media. They're very good in the community. They go to lots of events. They talk in the schools and all that. So they're brilliant, they are. But they've got other things they should be doing, as in, like, if there's a fire on the park, yes, of course they're going to come and put it out. It's a priority. But then others are going to miss out. God forbid there could be an accident somewhere, or a property on fire, and they're not there because they're here tied up with something that shouldn't even be happening, should it? A bin on fire, or a bench on fire, or a tree on fire. That's stuff that, it's not an accident, is it? It's done on purpose. So people need to stop doing that and realise that we need the fire brigade for other things, don't we?
Yeah. And so what do you want to see happen over the next weeks and months or so to stop this from happening and sort of nip it in the bud?
So I've called a meeting with the various agencies and authorities, and we're all meeting up in a few weeks to see what action plan we can come up with. But that all starts with, like I said, thanks to Gida, because they've put security cameras back up on site, which is the first step towards doing something. We need to work with the youngsters and educate them. Like I said, it's getting into the schools and talking to the teachers. Can you pass these messages on? We also need parents to listen, and just have a word with the youngsters, and also talking to the youngsters on the parks and that. So perhaps try and find something alternative for them to do as well, because sometimes, as bad as this is, it comes out of boredom, and I'm not saying that's right, because it isn't, but let's engage with these youngsters and find something they like doing. Like, I'm working with Gida, we're going to do an art project on the hoardings on here, so let's get some adults to come along and do some professional graffiti, which I'm passionate about, but let's get the youngsters involved, and if we can give them a bit of ownership on here, they're going to look after it and be proud of it. It's not going to get vandalised, is it? So I'm all for getting some street art on these hoardings, but on the other side as well, we also need working with the police, we're working with the council, we're working with the fire brigade and different other agencies like the youth club, and we're just going to see what action plans we can come up with. But like I said, it all starts today where Gida have put the CCTV up, so hopefully that makes a difference.
Yeah. And as a local councillor, have you had people coming to you with concerns about obviously what's going on here? A lot of houses nearby, a lot of families living nearby as well. How much concern is there?
Yeah, there is a lot of concern. Like I said, a lot of people post on social media, which is appreciated because we can read it. But we do need people to be ringing 101. We do need people to be ringing 999 and using Crime Stoppers. But yeah, there is a concern because it's stopping people coming on here. But again, I always want to say we've got a lot of youngsters in Stapleford that's doing some really good stuff. There's a lot playing football, there's a lot doing art, there's a lot doing music, there's a million things the kids are doing, which is good. It's a tiny small amount of people that's causing this trouble, and we just need to stamp it out.
Yeah. And so when do you think this area of the park will be open again?
Broxton Borough Council are going to order the parts, which obviously take time because they're all custom things, aren't they? Councils don't want parks closed, do they? The worst thing in the world is closing a park. I think, Broxton Borough Council, I'm proud of the council. I know I'm a councillor, I'm not being biased or anything. I'd say if I didn't think they were. We've got a good council, I know the officers are working as hard as they can. They want this park open as quick as possible, so I'm guessing it's just ordering the parts. But at the same time, you can only replace something so many times, can't you? You can't just keep chucking money after money after money. So we need to get to the root of the problem and stamp that out, and then get the park back open. But yeah, the council will do all they can as quick as they can. I know they will. I've got every faith in them.
Perfect. Cheers, Richard. Thank you.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.